Hello everyone, I'm Movie Master 222 and I'm here to review Kong Skull Island. Taking place in 1973 during the end of the Vietnam War, the movie focuses on an expedition of scientists and soldiers as they try to navigate and explore the mysterious Skull Island that only recently due to satellite imagery became known to the free world. However, the expedition is unprepared for the horrors that await them, and soon after they enter the island are met with calamity and destruction. Kong Skull Island takes place in the same fictional universe as the Godzilla movie from a few years back. Now, some might recall that the Godzilla movie pretty much teased and toyed with us for the better part of 3/4 of the movie, Godzilla and a proper appearance and fight with him. Kong Skull Island, however, wastes no time in establishing King Kong in all his magnificent glory. This is Kong's movie. He is the king. He is the alpha. He is the omega. To the people on the island, he is a god. This is the movie that Kong has deserved for over 80 years. In my personal life, the movie also addresses a lot of questions I've had about Skull Island, such as what makes it such an untouched part of Earth, why has no one ever explored it before, why is it always so difficult and remote to get to, and where all the monsters and prehistoric creatures come from. What really surprised me though were the visuals and cinematography. I was honestly not expecting such a feast for the eyes in this movie. I was really just expecting a typical Kong movie where Kong just pretty much goes around stomping and crushing and eating everything in his path. Kong is a true sight to behold. His design is impeccable. His fur is designed to almost blend into the island itself, which I found was a nice technical touch from the creative team. But above all else, the film does not mince with the fact that Kong is a force of nature. Every fight he's in this movie, he doesn't just win, he dominates, he crushes, he obliterates. He is the king. And he does get into his share of fights in this movie. There is a plethora of creatures, dinosaurs, monsters, and just abominations in this movie. It is a film made for true fans of the monster movie genre. As much as I enjoyed the movie, however, it was not without its flaws. And those flaws, sadly, but not unsurprisingly, come from the human part of the movie equation. The movie boasts the acting talents of Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, John Goodman, and Brie Larson. All well-known, well-established actors with quite a few acting credits to their name. These are all very talented people, so when I say that they did not act up to their potential, it really says something. With the sheer acting experience among them, it's kind of hard to fault them. This really can't be their fault. It can only come from issues with the script or possibly even directorial issues. I almost want to say that the director really gave them second-hand attention, and he really placed more of his attention on Kong and the monsters of the movie, which, given the fact that this is Kong Skull Island, I really can't fault him for if that was where his priority lied. Still, easily half of this movie focuses on the human characters, and to see them kind of sludge along while we wait for the next Kong scene to come along is a real chore. What also doesn't help is the choppy editing. There is very rough, very awkward cuts from moment to moment in this movie that just makes the film feel kind of rough and ugly. This really isn't an outright fault, as the movie relishes the chaotic nature of the island, and the rough cuts do add to that chaoticness. It's just a bit of technical nitpicking that kind of irked me, but most people really won't even notice it. And the acting, while it isn't what one would expect from actors of this caliber, it isn't outright horrible, it's just incredibly cliched. And that wouldn't really be a problem, as monster movies are well known for their cliched stereotypes and tropes, but for some reason, for the most part, the cliches didn't really work in this movie. With the surprising exception, however, of John C. Reilly. From his first appearances in the trailer, I really thought John C. Reilly was going to be the weak point of this movie, but I was incredibly surprised to find that John C. Reilly was actually the strong point as far as the human actors go in the movie. Probably due to his immense strength as a comedic actor, John C. Reilly played the cliche points in the movie to their utmost perfection one would expect from something like this. He was easily the best human element of the movie, and he probably was able to help keep the movie going whenever the humans were the main focus. Despite its faults, I really enjoyed this movie. Seeing Kong go around smashing everything it never gets old. 80 years later, and it's still always fun to see Kong take on his next big fight, whether it be against monsters, creatures, abominations, or just good old humans. For those who weren't aware, Kong Skull Island is designed to be another entry into the fictional kaiju universe where that the Godzilla film from a few years ago took place. A Kong vs. Godzilla movie is on the way, and if this movie is any indication, it is something we all will pleasantly be waiting for. As far as seeing it in theaters go, that's really I'm going to leave up to you guys. On the one hand, there's definitely something more you get from seeing a movie like this in the movie theaters, but on the other hand, unless you are a fan of King Kong or other giant monster or kaiju genres, this movie really won't be for you. But if it is for you, if you are a fan of those giant movie monsters, then go see it in theaters and you will not be disappointed. That's all for now. I'm Movie Master 222, and I'll see you all next time.